Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you are new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I am really excited to do this video. Not long ago, I decided I wanted to go back into my palette, some of my favorites, and remember why they are great, not were great, and just like see what these palettes are made of. So many palettes that I have, I didn't use too much beyond filming a video because I was on to the next palette. So I am trying to bring in less palettes this year. And I also want to go back and show love to palettes that I have really enjoyed for the couple times I've worn them. I want to, see what they're made of and get more out of them. So today we are creating looks with the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. 5 looks, y'all. If that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I am doing great. I was just so excited to pull Triochrome out. This was, I believe, Natasha Denona's 2021 holiday palette, and I just love this palette so much. Now, quick disclaimer, I did change out this shade and I don't know where it's from, but yeah, I changed it out because there was a kind of an off-white matte here that I was just like, why do we have this? Because I have this shade here, I don't need 2. Let's revisit Triochrome though real quick. This palette I feel like was a big deal for Natasha Denona, and the reason that I'm saying that is because this palette came out at a time where I feel like the indie space for me really started taking off. And I was buying indie singles, and all these shimmer palettes were coming out with these duochromes, and we weren't getting a whole lot of that in the more mainstream brands. We had Pat McGrath come out with Divine Rose 2, where there was that VR Sextra terrestrial shade, which was in 2020. And I know that Pat McGrath has come out with duochrome shades before, but I don't know, there was a lot of attention given to that VR Sextra terrestrial shade. And I think it was because there was such a surge in the indie space where there were all of these indie brands coming out, and there still are a lot coming out, but these all shimmer palettes. Then you have brands known for their duochromes like Terra Moons, Cleona. So when we heard chrome in a Natasha Denona palette, we were into that. And I think at first I was thinking that they were going to be multi-chromes or chromes that shifted 3 different colors because it was Triochrome, but I think it was actually because there were 3 here. And I really liked this palette. I'll probably talk about it in one of the looks. I love the setup of this palette because I think it made it really easy for people to use because you can kind of stay monochromatic and then try to mix it up. But it was a different look. It was a different vibe, I feel like, for Natasha Denona. I do think this palette could have been a midi size. I mean, I kind of think all of her palettes can be midi sizes, and that's kind of how I feel about large palettes at this point. But I just remember really loving the look of this palette. And I also remember kind of saying, these weren't really super shifty duochrome or multi-chrome shades, but I don't think that was the point. I think it was that there were 3. And I think this was a perfect release for people who go more for mainstream makeup, because the indie space can be really confusing. You're not sure what shades to get. You're not sure about the shifts, if they're gonna look good on your eye. Are they private label? Are they handmade? How do I navigate the website? This made it easy because it was Natasha Denona and you only had 3, and she gave you some really nice complementary shades that go with these shimmers. And so I really love that about this palette. It is, to me, a grungy goodness with a bit of a pastel type vibe. And I think this is a really unique color story still in my vast eyeshadow collection. So what we're gonna do in this video is do 5 looks. I'm gonna come on with one eye done, so y'all don't have to watch me do both eyes. And then I will be back at the end to just tell you how I feel about doing 5 looks with the palette. I don't think have I ever done 5 looks with the palette. This might be my first time, and I want to do more of these videos so we can really get the most out of our coins. We've spent so much money on these palettes and on this makeup. Now let's see what these palettes can do for us. So I will be back at the end and close out the video. So let's get into the first look. All right, you guys, this is going to be the first look with the Triochrome palette. First out of 5. Look at this. And then when you see me do it, it's so easy, like ridiculous. And you know what I just want to say? Me deciding to do these multiple looks videos now, I know, you know, lots of creators do it, but I have such a feeling of freedom. There's several palettes in my collection that I have not used yet, but all of the palettes that I have not used, and it's not that many, are past like that point of like excitement, I would say. Like content creators already have their reviews up and everything like that. The only one that I felt really pressed to use was the Path of the Light Side by Notoriously Morbid, because I know I'm probably going to be the only person showcasing that palette, because there's not a lot of Notoriously Morbid content on YouTube. So now I just have this freedom, this free feeling like I can use whatever I want. And I'm so excited because I'm sure I said it in the intro, the Triochrome palette is one of my favorite palettes. And if I had to narrow down my collection or get rid of all my palettes except for 10 or something like that, Triochrome is on that list, hands down. I'm so excited to get into these looks, so let me show you this up close. Super simple to create, ridiculous. So we're gonna get into it right now. The ears are back because my hair's in my face. So I'm gonna take this Dose of Colors tapered blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Vert, and then I'm gonna outline it with Ion. And for eyeshadow primer, I am using the NARS eyeshadow primer. So there's Vert, and that's all I'm gonna do pretty much with that. And then I'm dipping into Ion, just going closer up to the brow bone. And it's hard to see, but it just gives like a little more gradient in that space between the brow bone and the transition. I do like to kind of put it over here on the outer part of the eye so that the shade is kind of blown out and it blends in with my skin. And that's it. And now I'm gonna go into Scarab with my finger. I'm just gonna place that all over the lid, all the way over to the inner corner. Bring it up. Then I'm gonna take Scrap, and I'm using the Dose of Colors brush again. And I'm gonna just place that on the outer corner and in the outer crease, just to make the eyeshadow look a little smoky. I'm just gonna blend it until it looks the way I want it to look. I'm just going back into Vert just a little bit to soften this up. Yes, so far so good. Now I'm going to take a What's Up Beauty R107 brush, going into the shade Garmin. I'm gonna use that for the lower lash line. And I'm gonna take it all the way over, almost to the outer corner, just not quite there. And then I'm just gonna tap really lightly back into Scrap, which is what I use on the upper lid, and just connect that corner to the top and just blend it in. And then for my inner corner, wink, I'm taking this Melt pencil brush, going into Androdite, and we're gonna do just a little matte inner corner highlight. Next, I'm taking the Natasha Denona Macro Tech Eye Crayon in the shade Willow. I'm gonna take this on the lower lash line. And I'm gonna do my top lid off camera because it's gonna be tough for me to do that. I caught myself doing a little teeny baby wing right there. See that baby wing? So I'm gonna do that and put on the mascara, and then I'll be back to let you know what I think about look number 1.
Hooray!
All right, so we are back to do look number 2 with our beloved Triochrome palette. Get my ears and we'll get right in. So here is the look. Let me know what you think about this one. So I have a fluffy tapered brush from Morphe, and I'm gonna go into the shade Diatonic, and I'm just going to place that in the transition area. I'm gonna go into Garmond, and I'm gonna use the same brush. Oops. Just bring it down to the outer part of the eyelid. Next, I'm going into Plutonium, taking that same brush and putting it here on the outer corner. I'm not being really neat about it at all. Just lightening it up just a little bit. For the shimmer, I'm gonna use Color Flip. Just gonna take that on my finger and put it all over the lid. Back into Garmond just to blend. Taking a pencil brush, I'm gonna go into Manganese. I'm gonna take that and put it under the lower lash line all the way across. For the inner corner, we're gonna go into the shade Ion using the same pencil brush. I'm gonna line my eyes with Fig from Victoria Beckham and put on my mascara, and then I'll be back. All right, I'm back with look number 2, all complete. And I forgot to say, I did take a little bit of that Manganese shade and outline my upper lashes as well. But here is the look. And I love this too, y'all. I cannot tell you all how much I love this palette and just how excited I am to be dipping back into it. So let me know what you think about this look, and we're gonna get into another one. All right, you guys, I'm back for look number 3. And you can see this one is from the Purple Row. So let's do it. I'm gonna be using 2 brushes for this look. I'm gonna be using a Sydney Grace, a tapered blender brush, and a smudger brush. I'm first gonna tap into Tungsten, and using my blender, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this all in the transition area in the crease. I'm wearing the NARS eyeshadow primer for all the looks. Next, I'm going into Manganese. Using the same brush, I'm just putting this in the outer corner. Hi, August.
Mom.
Say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
What's up?
Can Brian spend the night when we go home on Saturday?
Maybe so.
My dad will pick me up and my mom will have her birthday to herself.
Okay.
Can you talk to her about it?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Where's Marky?
Marky's at camp.
Where's Tyrone?
Work.
You're the only one there.
I'm the only one here. I am.
We just got back from basketball camp.
How was basketball camp?
We stayed there for like 1 hour.
Oh, yeah? Did you love it?
We're making all of our shots.
And I was working on my moves.
Your moves? Getting ankles on people?
No.
No, I got ankles on Oakland.
You got ankles on him? I can't.
I got ankles on No, I got ankles on Jack.
Why don't you explain what ankles is? Go ahead.
That's when you cross somebody and like you break their ankles.
Like their ankles get wobbly?
No, the ankles.
No, like you make them fall.
Oh, okay.
I did that to Amir one.
It's like when you get like the saucy moves You be like,
Bro,
not
saucy moves.
All right, not the saucy moves. All right, well, I'll talk to Ariel.
okay.
Love y'all.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye.
These kids be killing me talking about they getting ankles on people. Okay, we gotta move on. Oh no, you know why? Because I couldn't remember. I think I took Redox, and I did take one of these purple shades, either that or Naga, but I think it was Redox. And I'm just putting it up here, like along the edges in the brow bone area. See, like right there, it makes it like soft, and I love that. It just makes it like, I don't know, really soft, like I said. All right, going into Kinetic with a finger for the shimmer on the lid. Super easy. Then just tap in the outer corner with manganese, just like that. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going back into Tungsten and Redox. I'm just gonna mix the two. And then the deeper shade Manganese for the outer corner. For the inner corner, I'm going into Diatonic. And you can see on this side, I didn't really do like a poppy brighter corner, inner corner. I don't know if that's a shadow. Like right here. What is that? What is that? What is that? Okay, I don't know. But I think it's a shadow, maybe. All right, so we're going into Diatonic here. A little blushy inner corner. And there's the look. So we're going to enhance it with our liner and mascara to give it a little drama. For liner, I'm using Victoria Beckham in the shade Ash, which is just a deep gray. And my What's Up Beauty mascara, Watch Me mascara. I'm gonna take our fluffy side first. Then I'm going in with the silicone side. And there we have look number 3. Let me know what you think about this one. And so far, like what I love about this palette is how easy it was to create these 3 looks, because as you can see, I pretty stayed monochromatic with these first 3 looks, just using each row. But for these last 2 looks, I'm going to show you how we can mix up the colors to make even more looks. But I love this palette layout because it just makes it easy for those who, you know, are not as comfortable with color. And that's what I really like about this palette. So let's do 2 more looks where we mix up the rows. All right, I'm back and we're gonna do looks 4 and 5 right now. I'm gonna do 1 look on each eye. I forgot to mention this lipstick. This is Sunday Matinee by Lisa Eldridge, and I used the Velvet Blush as an outline. You probably can't really see it like that, but I love this shade. It's the Insanely Saturated. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to mix up the rows and columns to combine and have a less monochromatic look. So let's do that. Okay, yes. I want to do a look using like this shade here, Garmin, this shade, and then maybe this shimmer, I'm thinking. Let's see how that's gonna turn out. So I'm using the Sydney Grace blender into Garmin, and I'm just gonna put that in the transition area. I'm gonna use a little bit of Diatonic here just because it's a little deep for what I want. I need to pluck my eyebrows. What's new? Now I'm going to take this brush. It's really good for like detail work, and go into Scrap, which is this deep shade here. And we'll see how that's gonna blend. I mean, it has the potential to be muddy, but we're gonna find out. And I'm gonna put this on the outer corner and the inner corner. Try to make it like a halo. Ooh, smoky. And now we have this open spot here in the middle for color flip. This one here. I think that's gonna be nice because you can kind of see the pink and you see almost like the scrap shade and that shimmer. So I think it's gonna look nice. We shall see. With halos, it's like, you know, you don't want it to be like such a stark contrast, like right there. So, well, I don't want it to be that. So I'm gonna just take my brush and just try to merge the matte with the shimmer, kind of like that. And then just blend what's left kind of into the crease. I actually really like this. Okay. Yes. Let's take a pencil brush into scrap for the lower lash line and let's just go all the way under. This can be like a little grungy look. Oh, I really like this actually. So yes. All right, inner corner linked. What a predicament. Let's do ion and see. Wait, that was not ion. This is ion. Let's see. I think I used ion in another look. So I did androdite first, and now I'm putting ion on top. A little more ion. So that's the look. You know, this is a nice grungy palette. Even though it's not like deep, the shades are just, to me, just give off the grunge vibe. And I think this would really look so good, like with a, I don't know, I was thinking one of my deep, like matte lips, like make it real vampy. Like Mel and Unearthly have some very like nice odd lip shades. That would be great. I think it looks good with Sunday Matinee as well, especially if you don't want it to be too vampy. So here's how it looks from afar. And at the end, I'll do the liner and mascara and let you know what I chose. But we're gonna go into another look. This time, I think I'm going to focus on like this plutonium shade and maybe the manganese, something like that, almost like a sunset situation. So I'm going back into my Sydney Grace brush and going into plutonium. And let's just put this here in the transition area. And then manganese, the deep purple. I'm gonna put that here on the outer corner. And we can do this the same way. I'll put some on the inner corner as well. Switching to the smaller brush to get in here. Let's see something real quick, y'all. This is Scarab. Just want to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to take Scarab close to the inner corner, actually. Because who's to say we can't use two shimmers? It might be kind of muddy, but we'll see. I'm going into Kinetic. Oh, you know what? And let's go back into color flip. Let's just use all three shimmers. Forget that purple on the inner corner. Ooh, that's kind of nice, right? And they're all going into each other so beautifully. I'm going back into manganese. Ooh. And then let's go into Naga here. Just making stuff up now. Just to kind of maybe blur it a little bit. Blur it up here too. Oh, this is coming out better than I thought. And I think I'm gonna take that shade under the lower lash line as well. I'm grabbing my pencil brush and we're gonna go under the lower lash line. I don't know what y'all think about that. I really like that. It's a little bit different. All right, we need an inner corner. Oh, wait. You know what? We're gonna go back into Scarab for the inner corner highlight, and then it'll pick up in the center of the eye. Okay. Okay, here are the two looks with Triochrome, and you know, they're just, I don't know, they're just like kind of muddy, but in a way that I like. So let me know what you think about these two. I'm going to line my eyes and get some mascara and then close out the video. Okay, back with the finished two looks. And I used a brown liner. I used the shade Cocoa from Victoria Beckham and my What's Up Beauty mascara. And that's it. That's it. Let me know what you think about these last two looks. So just to close out, I really hope that you enjoyed delving back into the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. It's like a renaissance, you know? And it was really fun to be creative, see what this palette is made of, and do 5 looks. And I'm sure there are many other looks that one could do with this palette. I have to say that with this palette, I really do enjoy sticking to the rose. But I had fun being creative. I like both of these looks. I really like the one where I did like all 3 shimmers here. And I kind of like that ethereal kind of blown out effect that I tried to have. I can't see it anymore, but that's something to play with, like the blending out. So I don't know, I hope this will re-inspire your love for this palette if you have it. And don't be afraid. I didn't use this shade on purpose because I know I changed my palette, and as I was doing these looks, I think I'm gonna change it again. I think that taking this out and adding a brown shimmer would be great. Maybe one of the shimmers from my Ayana palette, because that one is kind of like a cool tone. Let me just grab that so you can see my thought process. Okay, I'm back. So I was thinking the Ayana palette might have a shimmer that I want to plug in. Maybe, well, there's only 2 shimmers. So one of these I think could really go. I was thinking more of a warmer brown, but actually like this, that could go right there. See that? Because I'm looking at like this would really complement this row here. So I think that would be nice. It could also complement these mattes. I could also, I don't know, this would be a good compliment here, because I could also take out, because this shade wasn't giving me, you know, a whole lot. It was giving me an inner corner highlight, which I could get from anything, but I could definitely stick one of these browns, like this one right here. That would be a nice, cool transitional color to kind of go. This shimmer here would be nice in the palette. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that. I have to see. I actually have my cranberry palette, which when I'm thinking about that, and it's not with the rest of my Natasha Denona palettes, but my cranberry palette I think has a warmer brown shimmer that I think would be great here and could go with any of these rows. So I'm thinking about taking this pink out. Where did this pink come from? Let me think. I don't think it's Circo Loco, because I think I put Circo Loco back. I don't know where this pink came from, y'all. But, you know, I wouldn't have even thought about this or substituting anything else if I didn't take the palette out. So I'm really into, you know, finding some new ways to use the things that I already have. Let me know how you felt about this video, like the 5 looks. Let me know what you thought about that format. I'm trying to think, is 5 looks too many? I mean, it's not too many, like, because this video is not going to be super long, I don't think, but I feel like I got bored around the 3 look mark. But that's also part of the problem, and that's what also caused me to try to be a little more creative with the last 2 looks. So let me know what you think. And honestly, like from right here, I don't feel like these last 2 looks look that different. So like Triochrome, I really feel like, and I'll have to look at some other videos, but Triochrome has like three distinct looks for me, in my opinion, the way I would use them. Even if I used variations of these shades like here, I still think the look is gonna come out kind of similar. So let me know what you think. I mean, overall, even crossing the colors, you kind of get this muddy grunge story, which I absolutely love. So I don't know, I'll have to see, but I'll probably vary between 3 and 5 looks per palette, because I'm really trying to go in and, you know, just, I show them some love, you know, toot their horn, because these were some good palettes. Like, since I've gotten into makeup, I have seen some amazing palettes, and they're just on a shelf, you know? So that's why I'm really trying not to get caught up in all like the new palettes coming out, because like I feel like I came into the makeup game at a time where there was so like much good stuff coming out, and so I want to take myself back to that and be creative and inspiring. So I hope you feel inspired. And you know, a lot of us are buying older palettes, so I'm down to go back into the vault and pull some out. I was thinking about doing it with my motherships too, because I mean, people are getting motherships for $77. Okay, so now what? I don't know if everybody wants to go back and see a look from 2018. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we want to do something fresh. So that's it. I'm rambling and I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.